Is your soul calling you into a deeper walk? Are you being pulled into your own authentic path to follow your North Star? So, are you feeling some inner drive, inner nudge towards a particular direction away from the life you've always known? Hi, my name is Chinwendu. A time comes in someone's life when their soul begins to call them into a deeper walk. Remember that we all are God individualized. We are emanations of God. We all emanated from God as individuals having a human experience. We are spirit beings having a human experience. So, in this human experience, we come here preordained. Our spirits are already loaded, imprinted with what we are supposed to be here or do here or ways we are supposed to experience life. So when it's time appointed for it, your soul will begin to pull you in a particular direction. Maybe for a very long time you can just live and experience life in the mundane world. Mundane, not really like, what I mean by mundane is like experiencing life, maybe going to school, becoming whatever, or like gaining whatever certification you want to gain, and doing all these things we do here on earth. But a time will come when you'll be separated, called apart for whatever it is that you're here to do, and that is following your authentic path, living your most authentic life. So when that begins to happen, you can be asked to quit your job, you can be asked to make some physical changes, you can be asked, it can be anything for anybody. Everybody have their own way that it will be. That's when you are awakening to your true nature. That's when you're coming home to yourself. You're remembering again who you are, that you have forgotten due to the way the systems of the world work. We come here and we enter some sort of coma, amnesia. We sleep, we call it soul sleep, and we forget who we are. We forget ourselves as God. Then when your soul calls you into that kind of call, is for you to now begin to remember who you are. In 2018, one early morning, it was in a trance, like I just heard, "You are not cold, you are not hot, and I will spew you out of my mouth." So I recognize that that statement is from the Bible. It's in Revelation chapter 3 verse 17 or thereabouts. So my Bible was on the bed. So I quickly grabbed the Bible and I opened that place, and I saw it and I read it, and I didn't understand, because in my opinion of myself, I was an above the average Christian. I do all the things they say we should do. I don't do the ones they say we shouldn't do. So why am I being told that I'm not hot, I'm not cold, and the host spewing me out of the mouth and all that? So it started disturbing me. That statement disturbed the hell out of me. And that was around October, like this, in 2018. So I started talking to some Christian brothers and some Christian sisters. Look at my experience. What do you think about it? And none of them gave me any answer that made sense to me. So I decided that I'm gonna pray and ask God myself. So I was in school then, and when I got home for Christmas break, that at the end of the year, I started praying. I didn't even do anything about Christmas. I was just in in my room, just seeking the faith, praying, trying to understand what that statement meant. So at the end of the time, like by January, when it was time for me to go back to school, I haven't gotten any answer. But I went back to school. And so I was writing my dissertation then, and so I needed to do the analysis, and I did not know how to use SPSS. So I was looking for someone to teach me. Then one day I just entered my neighbor's room, and I saw an old friend, acquaintance that I used to know when I was in an undergrad during my undergraduate studies in the same school. So I met him. He was our fellowship pastor when I was in undergraduate. When I was an undergraduate in the same school, so we exchanged pleasantries, and for some reason we talked about the SPSS stuff, and he said that he can do it, and he taught me how to do it. So in the process of discussing, having conversation, when he was teaching me, he asked me, what else do you want to do after this master's program? I said that I want to start something around personal growth and development, because it's the direction I have always had interest in. So I said I want to have a magazine for that will just be about personal growth and development and all that. So he said that he knows someone that will help me with that. He gave me the person's number, so I just called the person's number, and the person gave me an appointment to come to his office the next day, and I went. That was how the person turned out to become a mentor to me, and it was during the mentorship that I started awakening to my true nature. My life changed totally. In fact, the person I used to be died. In fact, I have died multiples of times since then. So why I had to tell you this story is that once it's time for you to awaken to your true nature, the exact way it has been programmed or imprinted in your soul to happen, it will happen. So on your way to living your authentic life, it's a path that nobody has walked on before. It is a path that you are creating by yourself. There is nothing like expo, like copy and paste. There is nothing like looking at your neighbor's path and copying something and pasting, because this path is yours or only, and you are working on it as you're being guided from within. Sometimes the only thing you have to walk this path is faith, conscious faith. Of course, living your authentic life is a life of conscious faith already, because you are living your unique life. You are creating your life. You're walking your path, creating it as you're walking it, because there is no path there. You are simply walking it and creating it. So it's a walk of faith. Living your authentic life is a walk of faith. So the only thing you have is faith as you move on your path, conscious faith. So let's talk about faith. Faith is not belief. Faith is a knowingness. If we are to put these things in on a scale, faith is way further down the scale than belief, or rather knowing is further down the scale than belief. Beyond belief is knowing. Sometimes what you believe you don't really know. For instance, you can believe that something, like I can tell you that something is red, and because you've never seen it, you can believe what I said, whereas maybe it's not red though. And then your mom, you don't believe your mom, you know her. So what you know, you can believe. So that is what the limitation about believing something. You can believe something that is not true. But when it comes to knowing, you can know what is not true. So this is why I tell people, know things, don't just believe. Don't believe anything, just know what is. You can even know that is a particular school of thought that may not be true exists. You know that it exists, but you don't necessarily have to believe it. You can know that, oh, this thing is not true and it is this way, and people are using it this way and using it that way, in as much as it's not true. So you can know that it's there, but you don't believe it, but you know it's there. You are not participating in it, but you know it's there. So faith is a tangible knowing, inner knowing, in walking your walk of authenticity. So faith is what confers tangibility to your walk, because you know, because you always have this inner knowing. That is, sometimes that is all you have. Sometimes that is all you have as you're starting on your path of authenticity, walking your path of your authentic path. So the Bible said, now faith is the substance of things not seen, the evidence of things unseen. So I like that the King James Version started it with now, because faith is always now. It's currency. It's never outside now, because life actually is now. Life is never outside now. So faith is now, and it is the substance. Substance means to say that it is what makes whatever it is that you're doing tangible. Is the tangibility of what is not seen. One characteristic of faith is that that thing may not have been revealed to the physical senses, but it is tangible. It is the title deed to what you are believing, or it is the title deed to your authentic path, to your authentic living. So it is what confers tangibility to it. So faith is something that you must go with. At certain point, the only thing you may have is just faith before other things will begin to arrive. I'm telling you. So do not fear your authentic path. It is the path of your glory. It is the part of your glory. Authenticity is your currency. Authenticity is your art. Authenticity is the most beautiful place to be in life. So living your authentic path is a part of joy. So I normally describe it as heaven on earth. Sometimes, depending on the season of your life you are in, because life has seasons. So when maybe if you are in your season of wilderness experience, maybe things might look somehow, but it does not still take away the fact that you experience heaven on earth, because living your authentic life is living in oneness with God. That inner oneness with God, that inner alignment with God is heaven on earth of an experience in itself. So whatever you may be going through in the physical realm, all the challenges, maybe all the closed doors and whatever, all the tough lessons and the healing, whatever that you may be going through, cannot compare with this inner robustness and the kingdom of God within you that is blossoming. So when your soul calls you, stop putting it off. Like me, when I was called to leave my job, I couldn't, because I have all these responsibilities. What will I say to my family? What will I do? How will I pay my bills? Those kind of things. And I didn't agree. I was like, how? Let me establish this. Let me establish that. Let me start having this passive income. Let me start having that. But that's not how my own life was meant to go, because there are people that they will do like that and it will work for them. That's how their life has been designed to be. But my own, I was supposed to take a leap of faith and be moving with faith, and I was so scared, but I later did that, and I took that leap of faith. Of course, there were some certain things I established, but they didn't start bringing me money. So I simply had to move by faith. So do not fear when you are called. Go for it. It is for your glory. It is for your good. God is a payer. Once you start working for God, God is a payer. God will pay you. God will pay you. So if once your soul starts calling, answer. Sometimes it's calling, we are hiding from it, trying to use activities to keep it, to shut it up, trying to use Netflix and drinking, smoking, whatever to shut it up. That hollow feeling within you, that feeling of emptiness, nothing else can fill it up except this thing I'm talking about. Nothing else can fill it up except what I'm talking about. This video is not for everyone, and those it is for will find it and they will understand what I'm saying. So it is not for everyone. Once that hollow feeling is there within you, you know exactly that you are hiding from yourself. So it's time to stop hiding from yourself. It's time to answer that call. It's time to take that leap of faith. It's time to go with God, because one thing I know is once you take that leap of faith, you will fly. You won't fall. You will fly. You won't fall. You will fly. No matter what you encounter, it will always be for your own good, because a snake sheds its layer to become bigger. So sometimes the pain you may experience, the discomfort, is because you are shedding off your layer to become bigger. Because life is cyclical in nature. You see the way the back of the shell of a snail is. You see the way it starts from the small and starts widening. That's how life is. So for you to widen and go into the next cycle of your life, that has to happen. You have to shed off who you are not to go to the next cycle, because a new wine cannot be poured into an old wine skin. It will burst it. So the new wine has to be poured into a new wine skin. So you have to be new. So this is the cycle of life. Death and rebirth. Death and rebirth is the nature of life. So don't fear it. Embrace it all. A time will come when the more you embrace it, the more it will no longer be anything to you, because you can now embrace anything. So that will be all for now, so that this video will not be too long. Thank you so much for listening up to this point. I love you. I love you. And have a wonderful day. Please remember to like, to share, and to comment, and also to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Bye.